Welcome to another Rise Together conversation. This time I am joined with a lady I am blessed to have connected with through the Association of Transformational Leaders Europe. Along with many titles and achievements, Nikolina is a spiritual teacher, intuitive guide, soul reader, healer, speaker, feng shui consultant, plus co-author to an international bestseller and mother to her beautiful daughter. Let's jump in. So, as you've heard, we have the beautiful Nikolina joining us today. Hello and welcome, Nikolina. Good to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you today and with your members and with your beautiful
Absolute pleasure. Our warrior women will relish this interview. I know we've got a lot of people that are interested in what you do, what you share, what you speak about, and you've kind of got so many beautiful umbrellas and ways that you help people. I hope that I can get enough into this interview, but I'd love to start with, I noticed I was having a look at your website, beautiful website, that you have an ebook around having a happier life and living a life with more meaning. So what would be your top tips on living a happier life?
Excellent question. So what will be top tips? I put in that little ebook, a lot of tips. So definitely recommend people that they can go jump in and take it. It's on my website, beautifulspirit.net. And I got those messages channeled. They just got through me. And it was like a checklist, affirmations, being positive, being in the moment, and a lot of other things. So you will, like, when a person can read the ebook, it will feel, oh yeah, I do this. Oh yeah, I do this. Oh, this I need to do a little more. It will be all familiar, but it will be like everything on one spot, what you can work on more, what you can add in your life or something like that. So it's really beautiful checklist.
So it's almost like I was going to say, like a daily guide that you can use, a prompt.
Yes, you can. It's a reminder of the things that already people doing. I'm sure a lot of people doing, because it says like, do positive affirmations, be present, don't judge other people, and like example of everything, of all those things. So It's a beautiful reminder what is important for a happy life. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, we'll make sure there's a link underneath this video for everybody as well for that. So tapping in a bit deeper, we speak a lot about confidence within the Warrior Women. So do you feel that confidence is required for you to live a happier life?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, for happiness, there are many things, but confidence is really, really important. Like, in my journey, entrepreneurial journey, I realized that I can count on myself. And that was inner knowing, and that bring me more strength, more power, and knowing who I am, what I bring to the world, what I am, it's definitely making me happier, because I know I will always find a solution. I know I will always find the answer, even if I don't know at this moment, but it will come eventually. I will figure it out, how Marie Forleo says, everything is figure outable. It's a beautiful quote. And it really is that way. I proved myself that it is that way. So I would say confidence is really important for happiness, because if a person feels, oh, I'm not worth it, oh, my service is not good enough, or, somebody else is better than me, it's the level of inner joy is down. So happiness, confidence is really important, really, really hugely.
Thank you. Something that we agree with in this tribe. So I'm glad that's your perspective as well. But how did you find for you then? I know we spoke a little bit actually before we started recording of sort of your journey and how you developed more. We weren't using the word confidence, but your joy and finding yourself, loving yourself is what we were really talking about. But for you, what was that shift? If you're happy to share a bit about your story, what was that moment? What was happening when you realized, I'm not happy? And then how did you shift for that confidence, that self-love?
Oh my God, that's a huge question. I could talk for like hours. I will try to wrap
I'll sit back and relax then.
Oh my God, that's a huge topic for me. Because no, I wasn't self-confident. Oh, no. I wasn't somebody who is loving myself. I wasn't somebody who owning my worth. No, that was not me. And it started like everybody was always saying to me, like my friends, my people who love me, you need to believe in yourself a little more. And I was like, I know, but how to do that, for God's sake? Yeah, I know. So it was just like, you have to believe in yourself, you have to have more confidence. I'm like, oh, it's like saying, to somebody who is not like brave, you just have to be brave. So it's very hard. It was very hard. So I had a knowing that I have a problem. And in one point, that's another long story, how I opened my company, how I started. We won't go in there. And I remember at the beginning of opening my company, I was thinking, you just need to do what you love and everything will fall into the place. And bammer, no. That was not
quite always work like that.
Oh no, I was like slammed so hardly. I mean, I was guided to go and do my work that I'm doing, but I was like, this is not it. It's important that you have a passion, that you are doing this from the heart, but it's not enough. And I realized I need to love myself. Yeah, it's required actually. So I stepped into discovering self-love. Like, okay, This is my mission. And I put the word for the year, the word for the year, like usually people put.
Yeah.
I said it's self-love. And I remember.
Just to clarify for people listening, having, say, a word that grounds you for the year that you can pull back and make sure you're focusing in that area. Is that what you mean?
Yes, exactly. Like I heard it from somebody, and afterwards I heard it for many like entrepreneurial tips to do that. You have one word of the day, of the year, and that's your like intention for that year that you want to work on that. And my intuition is very strong, and my intuition is always leading me and guiding me. And that's how I figured I got across Steel Swan in one webinar of Hay House, her book, Shadows Before Dawn. And I don't know if you heard about that book.
I haven't.
Okay. And the second part of the book is about toolkit about self-love. Okay. And I took them really seriously. Like I didn't read the book just, from cover to cover and that's it, you put it on a shelf. I read it like 4 or 5 times. I made all the exercises in the book, and I get back to those exercises. I had a little notebook that I was writing down what's good in me. I ask my friends why they love me, why they hang out with me, so that I can discover myself actually. And those little notebooks, I was writing only good things about myself. And so far, I already have 4 of those notebooks, good things about myself. So that was like a journey, really a journey. It took me a long time for that. And then last year, I got a confirmation. How that confirmation happened? COVID happened over the, like just flipped all of our lives, not just mine. I mean, we all had a lockdown. Everybody has to go online. For me, that was not a problem online. For me, it was a problem since I'm a single mom. And I always work when my daughter is at school. And right now there is no school. And I was like, oh my God, how will I work right now? What will I do? How I will handle this? And it was a stress for me. And then what else happened? It was an earthquake in my country, in my town. So that really took me out of the ground and I was feeling extremely unsafe. And I moved from my apartment to the house of my dad because I felt safer there, and he wasn't there. He was at the seaside back then. And I had a lot of time to contemplate what's happened, what is going on, what I need to do. And in those like 2 months, a lot of things happened, changed in me. And I watched one webinar from one person, and he said, I know this is unsafe time, and ask yourself, where you feel safe? Is it in your, like your partner is giving you safety, or your home or something like that? And I felt no, my apartment is not safety anymore, because it can fall off, you know, it can be another earthquake.
Yeah.
I cannot have a safety in my apartment. I don't have a partner right now, so I mean, and even if I do have, never somebody else can be my safety. It cannot be my safety. And I realized, oh my God, I always find solutions so far. Sometimes it took me longer, sometimes I got anxious, but I always find it on the end. So which means, yes, I can count on myself. I proved so much that I always will find a solution, and my safety is actually in me, and I know I can count on myself. So that's how I got like a recognition and confirmation. I am self-confident. I can count on myself. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. And thank you for the mic drop moment, but also just sharing your story. You know, I think it's easy for people to see leaders, especially in this field, especially as speakers, simply because of the stage presence, to kind of, you know, put this light and put them on a pedestal and think, whoa, they're so confident. I wish I could be like that. So it's really beautiful for you to share, you know, I didn't feel like that. And actually it's through my consciousness, my inner work, through taking knowledge. And I think what's so key here is taking knowledge and implementing it. I love how you were like, I didn't just get the book and put it on the shelf. I read it 4 or 5 times fully and executed on what was being shared. You know, I think there's that silly cliche, isn't there, of it's self-development, not shelf development. So thank you for sharing all of that. And there was a couple of things I'd love to just tap into a little bit more. One of which was, you know, you said about your intuition. Mm-hmm. And I've been on an interesting journey in trusting that, and had some challenging lessons to open up my eyes and really get me to trust my intuition. So I just wondered for you, firstly, have you always been aware? You know, you said I've got a great intuition. Have you always trusted your intuition? Or again, was that something that you built? And for people that perhaps don't fully trust that at the moment, what are some ways that they can learn to connect and trust their intuition?
Excellent question. I always followed my intuition. That is what I do in my life, privately and in my business. I was always like guided, and I would do it. Guided, and I would do it. That's me. That's my DNA. And it's just, I have a little different path in that my intuition was leading me to a lessons. And I was like, how is this possible? You know, like I just following my intuition, and it's hard. And because like my soul is very advanced, and she want to learn so many lessons in this life. Yes. And I was like, how is this possible? But when I realized, oh, you know, when you listen to your intuition, but then it's getting harder. Mm-hmm. Eventually it gets, oh, I know, and everything just lights up. So I always listened to my intuition, always. That is my way of living. And even though some people said it's crazy, and I'll be like, no, I just feel like it. And I made a lot of moves that people were like I was feeling so many times that I'm the only one feeling different. But I was like, I just have to trust myself, because it was never wrong, my intuition. And then after 6 months, a year, I will get confirmation of my intuition. But right now, I don't even ask for the confirmation, because I'm just fine with that.
So ingrained now.
Yes, it's completely in me. So I always had it, but when I discovered one of my teachers, spiritual teacher, Sonia Choquette, I wanna explore it even higher, like mm-hmm. even bigger. Yeah. And yes, that really interests me. Like, you know, when you have those areas in life that you're good at, and then you want to even explore it even more, because it's so like you love it so much. So that's how I explored intuition even more. And I made an e-course on creation about intuition, angel, and spirit guides. And I'm planning to translate it very soon on English, so it can be available for people in English as well.
And that will be on your website as well?
It will be. It's amazing. Not now, but it will be very soon. I'm planning to do that, because it is already.
Right out, warriors.
Yeah, yes. And so how people can tap more into their intuition, I will say a few tips that are popping in my head right now. Intuition is getting really subtle. It is not loud. It is very subtle, and it gives it comes out of the blue that you weren't thinking about it, and it just come and you feel beautiful in your heart. And then the mind pops in 5 seconds after that. Oh, no, that's expensive. Oh, no, that's that's dangerous. But those first, that's the intuition.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing how we can know intuition is that, the feeling, it's something wrong with the client. You feel it won't be right. It doesn't resonate. And then the mind comes, but I have to, oh my God, I have to pay my bills. I never took clients like that. I did it once and I regret it. And my intuition told me, like, refund the money. This just one time I didn't listen. I always listen. And it was like, oh my God, why I didn't listen? Because it was not a good match. What I want to say is, like, when you get the feeling, don't trust the mind who will explain, oh, this is dangerous, but follow through. The proof you can have for yourself to remember, when was the situation that I got intuitive guidance and I followed through? How can I remember how intuition showed up for me? How did it? And what happened when I followed through, when I did it? And then on the next part of the list, what happened when I knew something is telling me, don't trust this person. This is not a good project for you. Don't go there. And I didn't listen, and what happened? So this is how you will know, this is how my intuition is speaking to me.
Yeah.
And this is how this is why I'm not listening to my intuition.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful tips there. Thank you. And I can really testify to that I didn't listen for a while to the subtle, to the niggle. And so bam, it showed up in a big way. But I will forever be grateful for that lesson, because now I really understand, trust yourself. So just very quickly before we shift in, I've got a couple more questions that I'd love to ask you. But I think it's amazing that you've had that connection. You've always been aware, and I even more appreciate and respect that you want to keep growing that, evolve and expand, right? I totally get that and understand it. But for some of the warriors that might be listening right now that are like, okay, that's all very well for her, she can do it very naturally. So I feel it, it's the subtle signs. And then you gave some great tips, but how do they really just, almost pause in that moment and allow themselves to trust, rather than letting that monkey mind take over? Because I think you'd agree, for a lot of people, the monkey mind takes over, right?
Yes.
Yes. We've been there. So what would your real, nitty gritty tips be for somebody to feel those subtle niggles and to trust that?
Okay, so this is the first step, the one that I said before, your proof. That's how you know how the intuition's coming to you. And I talking in my e-course, there are 4 channels that we all getting the messages. Somebody is more feeling based. I feel something is off. I feel. The other people more using words. I heard a message. I heard a song on the radio. I heard somebody speaking to me. The third personality is more visual. I saw a vision that I have to do this. I had a very strong dream. And so you have to know which is your channel, where your intuitions more is coming, because not everybody is feeling based. Some people are more like, I hear, I see it. Or there's,
and is that by sort of listening to your language that you're using then to identify?
Yes, it can be. For me, it's my voice. It's not somebody else's voice. Some people hear external voice, but more often is your own voice. That's why it's harder to distinguish which one is. And the fourth channel, you know, the feeling, I just knew, you know, I just know.
Yeah.
And it's like inner knowing. That's inner knowing. And so how to trust, that's the exercise. You cannot, how can I say it? It's like when you have those lists, how I did it and how I didn't do it. And you start like, this is how I got it, and this is how everything unfold, and this is how I didn't got it and what it unfold. But remember how it came to you, how it's coming to me, on which way is coming to me. And one other thing, it is always connected with the heart. Our intuition is connected with our heart. So we cannot get intuitive hinge in a way of, you know, I want to play violin, and you never played violin and you don't like violin. So, you know, your intuition won't say to you something that is completely not you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So your intuition will tell you something that is you in your core. And you will feel, I feel this, like I really do. And then it takes courage to do that. So that's another layer why people don't do it, is they have to work on their courage, or on not believing other people, but not believing, more believing in themselves and less what other people suggest them that they need to do.
Yeah, developing that confidence again.
Yes, developing that inner trust.
Yeah. So trusting yourself, and then courage to act on that.
Yes. Like I just getting one example to tell you, which was huge for me. I played a game on one course. What would I do? This is how you can get your intuition. If you are not scared, and if you know that nobody will judge you, and if you know that nobody will laugh at you, what would you do? And that's how you will get your intuition.
Great question.
Yeah. So this also, Sonia Choquette taught us this exercise, and it's beautiful exercise. What would you do if you're not afraid? And then I add those things like, if you are not, nobody will judge you, nobody will laugh at you, you will be completely accepted.
Yeah.
What will you do? And then you will get like, and you will feel it.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I love that. That's a question I love to ask, very sort of similar, but I'm going to listen to this again myself and take notes on those questions. But, you know, what would you do if you felt completely safe? If there were no rules, and there aren't, what would you be doing? You know, but it's important to ask those questions to get your mind responding in a different way, right?
Yes.
Which actually leads me on to the other area I wanted to tap into. What you were first sharing was contemplation. You know, the power of contemplation. I think even before we spoke, you were sharing how you use that on your journey. You've mentioned it here in this beautiful conversation. So I just wondered, what is contemplation to you? What is your process of contemplation? And of course, how does it benefit you?
Contemplation is very important to me, extremely. I need time for myself, to be alone. That's how I contemplate. I need time to go in nature and just thinking, like the energy, like listening to the birds singing, being alone, no people around me. And that's how I get like connected with myself. And I journal a lot. And that's how I contemplate what is happening, what I need, what is needed from me to bring to the world. So alone time, I would say.
Amazing. And I've just got to add, because it might have looked a little odd for a moment, Nikolina mentioned about being outside in nature alone, and I sort of chuckled a bit. And the reason why, and this actually might be a great tip for some of the warriors, we both are loud, energetic women that grew up around people, interacting with a lot of people. And so we were discussing before we came on to this recording, you know, that journey for ourselves of seeing, actually, going internal. Actually, I really love being by myself. I really love being in nature. I enjoy reading. I like being in the bath alone, whatever it might be. But allowing yourself to experience that. And for me, and Nikolina was saying similar, I acted as happy, loud, hyper Harriet because that's what I thought I had to be. Whereas actually a lot of situations, I just like to be at peace. So I just wanted to add that in from what you were sharing and our conversation earlier.
Yes.
So I know that we don't have too much time left and you've been sharing so much, but I wanted to tap into your soul reading. So as we said, Nikolina is an intuitive soul reader amongst the other areas that we shared. But number one, what is that? So for people that just have no idea, soul reading, the stereotypical skeptics out there, what is soul reading? And then really, how can it benefit people? Why is it important to understand and have that soul reading for us to sort of, well, I won't say too much more. Over to you, over to the expert.
Yes, soul reading is a soul connection with a person, which means what I do, I channel. I'm a psychic, but I don't go into future telling. I'm psychic in a way that I got information and energy, like energy around the person, what the person on a soul level, what is her mission, what is she doing here right now, because they can evolve, that evolves. Yeah. What is her gifts to this world, and that's related to personality. Also, what I'm my main focus, it's popping to me is what is blocking the person to get what she really wants, because we get in those vicious cycle. We're constantly doing the same thing and I don't know why I'm not getting what I want, but we're constantly in the same cycle. Yes. And then I get here and say, this is why you're on the cycle, because you're doing this, and this is the steps for you that you can get out of that. And the majority of the time people tell me, you gave me confirmation of what I felt inside of myself, but I felt because of what other people say or what is expected from me to do, or what I thought it will be good to do. I didn't listen deeply inside. So this is what is happening in the soul reading. And also a lot of people get energy, like a boost of energy to do what they really like. Yeah, now I will do this. Now I am peaceful, that it's fine that I don't know. Because sometimes the messages you don't know, and it's fine that you don't know right now, and don't force it. So I will, I don't know what will I get. I just getting the messages, channeled messages, and I transfer those messages to the person, and then it's on the client what they want to, sometimes it's just this session is enough that they get, I know where I am right now, I know what I need to do right now, I got confirmation because I wasn't really sure. And how they come to me, because they feel I got intuitive calling, I want to do this with her, something is calling me. That's the majority of the time that people tell me. That's how I was drawn with my teacher. Or they feel I just need some clarity, what so that I can understand myself better, and that I can I can understand why I have those blind spots and how to get out of those blind spots. And the continuous of this is my soul coaching. If I will get a message, should I offer that or not, if we feel that we will be the right fit. And also, of course, person doesn't need to accept it if she doesn't want to. And then we work more deeply in self-love. That's my first topic that we always work, how to be powerful and know who you are. Not that you do what I do, but you do what you need to do, that you be your I am who I need to be, and I love who I am, and that we're removing those blocks together. And I also give the assignments, because there is no, you have to do the work. So that's
absolutely.
Yes.
We touched on that earlier, didn't we? You have to absolutely implement. But I think that was such a beautiful description, and you'll understand my language here, but to actually interpret that to a physical existence and how that serves us, I think you just explained so beautifully. So of course, there's the website. Where else can people find you, what you do, and get in touch with you?
So yeah, there are more information of everything that I do on beautifulspirit.net.
Yeah.
And on Instagram, I share, it's Nikolina Balenovic Knez. You will put it so it's easier for people.
We tried to practice that before we started, and she said, just go with Nikolina.
Yeah, don't worry about it. If it's harder for you. And also in YouTube, I have a channel. It's Beautiful Spirit, where I share what I get that can be beneficial to people. So yeah, that's where they can find me.
Amazing. So we'll make sure all of those links come up in a moment. But our last question to you, beautiful soul, and thank you so much for your time, your energy, and all of your value in this space today. We really appreciate you. But our final question, what would your message be to the world?
After all this that I said, everything that I said, I mean, something add. I have one that I see that we all need to work on, and that's there is no better, no worse than anybody else. Which means that's related to, like, if we are entrepreneurs and sometimes people get like, I'm better at this. No, that's ego. And also it's very easy. That was my my journey. I'm less than. And there is no worse, there is nobody less than us, there is nobody better than us. So it's just like, it's me with my own journey, and how can I do the best with myself that I have, and to enjoy life. So there's no better, no worse.
Love that, beautifully worded, and it actually connects with how we always wrap up these interviews, which is thank you so much for your time, and let's continue rising together.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nikolina, and thank you to everybody watching. Do connect with Nikolina. All of her links are coming up now. If you want to connect with her and ask any questions, I'm sure she will welcome any interaction, any more knowledge that you would like from her. So do interact, get in touch. But otherwise, thank you so much, Nikolina, and to everyone, we'll see you on our next video.
Yes, thank you. Bye.